I'm Lacey McGee, and I'm super excited to be a part of the panel today. I can't wait to really get out here and open up the questions for other women in the audience. I think it was amazing that April put something together where a lot of times women are in the back end of the businesses and they're really not the front-facing voice. And to bring everyone out front and really get our voices heard on what all we do throughout the industry, the trends we're seeing, the mark we're leaving, and there's some incredible women that are going to be out here speaking today. So just excited for it to all come together.
Hi, my name is Judy Verblaauw. I'm from DeckExpo. I own the deck company with my husband Bruce. We have been in business since 1970, so we are second generation, and my two girls are third generation growing up with me. Love to be a woman-owned business, a woman in the industry. We've been doing it for a long time, been members of NADRA for probably about 14, 15 years now. Again, just excited to be helping promote women in the industry for other women to see that they don't have to be in the backgrounds, they can be leaders.
Hey everybody, I'm Veinott. I'm the owner and founder of Maven Roofing and Exteriors out of New Jersey. I'm really excited to be here today because I do so much on the roofing side for women in roofing, and now I'm venturing into women in deck building. I'm excited to share my journey about how I got here and some of my keys to success with you all.
Hi, my name is Holsten. I am the proud owner of Verblaauw out of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm excited to be here at the School and DeckExpo and share my experience of my journey with you. So hopefully I get to see your face, and if you find me, come by and say back.
Hi, I'm Carrie, Dibrell, and I am the publisher of Service Industry News. Service Industry News is a 37-year-old trade publication for pool and spa service technicians. So if you're interested in learning about what the service side of the aquatics industry has to deal with, or what they need to know, the Service Industry News. And we are online. We have an app, and our web address is www.serviceindustrynews.net. And we're free.
Hi, my name is Lainey Slevin. I work for Decks and Ducks as a contractor outside sales person. I've been in the industry for 25 years. I'm super excited to be aligned with all these powerful women here in the industry. Super excited to be at the DeckExpo for 2024 on the retail supplier side, which is a change for me coming from the manufacturing side. I've been a part of NADRA for a couple decades now. So just super happy to be part of this panel.
All right, we're going to get this started. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. This is new for us at the DeckExpo, and I'm Mike Beaudry, Executive Director of NADRA, the North American Deck and Rail Association. I'm here because I am very excited to have this happen here at the show. We've been running NADRA for 20 years, and everyone who knows us knows that my wife runs NADRA, not me. I may be the face out front, but behind every one of us, and every CEO, COO, sales rep, deck builder, pool guy, there is someone behind them that's making it all work. And you folks need to be in the front, and you need to be here more, because I know who runs this industry. I do have 4 daughters, so I'm a little bit partial, but I know what makes things work, and I am just so happy to have this happening here over the next 3 days, and having this area so that you guys have a chance to really know, to tell people what's going on, and to share your experiences, and to help more women get involved in our industry and be part of what we're doing. Outdoor living has a tremendous future. We have a lot of exciting years ahead of us, and I'm just so proud of all of you for being here, and I'm so thankful to be the guy that gets to introduce you all. So, at no further ado, we're going to bring in April Edwards, who's going to be your moderator for this session. April, can you come on up?
All right, I see some familiar faces out there. I love it. Thank you guys for coming today. We've got an amazing panel here. Look at all these ladies. These are ladies leading the industry.
Yeah, we are.
Hello, everyone. I'm April Edwards. I am the founder of Deck Builder Marketers, a women-led marketing agency. We're dedicated to helping deck builders across the country grow. And today I'm thrilled to moderate this panel with 6 remarkable women who are leading the way in deck building and outdoor living. As we go through the discussion, I'd like you to all think about one question. This is really my goal for today. What advice would you give to a young woman considering a career in this industry? All right, so we're going to talk about a lot of things. And if you guys have ever been to any of my webinars or the podcast, I don't like to talk. I want you guys to talk. So this is an interactive session. I'll be probing you guys. I want to recognize some other amazing women in the audience today too. So don't be afraid to jump in and introduce yourself and participate. Okay? Do I got everyone's buy-in on that? Yes. Okay, great. So we're going to circle back around to the end, so feel free to, jot down any questions. And my goal really is to leave all of you guys feeling inspired and equipped with practical insights. So let's meet our ladies. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to introduce everybody really quickly, and then they're going to tell you a little bit more about their journey. So first up is Tara Holsten, owner of Solid Ground, located in Wentzville, Missouri. Second up, we have Lacey Fowler-McGee, sales from Legacy Decks, located in beautiful South Carolina. Amanda Veinott, she is the owner and chief Maven at Maven Roofing and Exteriors, located in New Jersey. Judy Verblaauw, owner of New Jersey Decks, located in New Jersey, NJ Decks. Lainey Sleppen, contractor sales development manager, Decks and Docks Lumber, based in New Jersey. And then last but not least, we have Carrie Dibrell, publisher of Service Industry News, located in Hawaii. So we've got just a really nice, diverse, is there feedback? We've got a nice, diverse panel of ladies here. Sorry, I'm all close to you. You want to participate? So I want to kind of gauge you guys a little bit. How many of you are business owners? Rock on. Employees? Get it. Okay, cool. All right, so we just want to hear about, your journey in the industry and, where you are today. So take the floor.
I got it. All right, my name is Tara Holsten. I am the owner of Solid Ground out of Wentzville, Missouri, which is about an hour outside of St. Louis. My journey started actually in corporate. I had a corporate career in finance and fiscal operations for over 15 years. I've been in various industries. My husband, who I decided to capitalize on, is the reason why we are here, because he's a very talented person. And about 3 years ago, we decided to do the transition from corporate career to business owner. So if you are in the same journey, I'd be happy to talk with you after this about that.
Hey, I'm Lacey McGee. I work with Legacy Decks and Outdoor Living, and it's owned by Chris and Amy Breen. I've worked with them for 5 years, kind of just landed in the construction industry and needed a job, found it, and then loved the company. So I have worked about every position within their company. Started answering phones, and there was a need that the project manager wasn't there at the time, so I kind of started learning about project management, and then moved into project management, did that for them for about 3 years, and then in January they kicked me into sales, and so I have been doing sales for the past year, and I love it. And they are a very growth-minded company, and it has really excelled me in personal and business being with them. So I've enjoyed all aspects of it.
Hold on one second. I want to follow up with a couple of things. So Amy Breen, why don't you stand up for a second? Come on. She's the powerhouse behind Legacy Decks. You also do something else that's very leadership oriented. You want to talk about that for a second?
Oh, yeah. So Chris and Amy also own the Academy, and it's just an off chance that she can even be here because she's typically speaking and coaching in her own space. But they own Legacy Decks Academy, and we run a personal development program for the men and women, and it kind of started off with deck builders, and then it's expanded to just anybody. So the core belief is that you build the businessman or the businesswoman, and then the business follows. So if you don't start with the personal development side of it, then the business really never truly comes together. So we do a lot of me and Amy run the women's coaching side of it, and Chris and Nick, another one of our sales consultants, runs the men's side of it. And so it is super powerful. I went through the program, the coaching program with them about 4 years ago, and loved it so much that like I just wouldn't shut up until they started doing it more. And now we run about 3 a year, so it's pretty amazing. Judy's been through it with us, and a couple other faces that I see out there that I recognize. But yeah, if you need more information about it, there is so many places I can see you, so find me.
She's just a little passionate about it.
Hey everybody, I'm Amanda Veinott. I'm the owner and founder of Maven Roofing and Exteriors in New Jersey. I entered the industry similar to Tara. I'm on my third career. The first 8 years I spent in human resources consulting, and then I pivoted into owning a retail store for moms and babies called Mamique. I founded that company as well. My plan was to franchise it and go national, but then COVID hit. My dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I was having a baby all at the same time. So life throws pivots in your way sometimes, and that's what happened to me. And I lost $200,000, and I needed to make that back. And I entered into construction sales back in 2020, and the rest is history. So after that, I left in January of 2023, and I started my own roofing and exteriors company, and quickly realized that I have a passion for outdoor living and decks. So my focus going into 2025 is to grow that division and do a 7-figure revenue generation next year for decks alone, and we should hit about $4 million total next year.
Way to take advantage of, a pivot. Makes you stronger, huh?
My name is Judy Verblaauw, NJ Decks and Railings. I own the company with my husband Bruce. It's a family business that's been started by my father-in-law back in 1970. But now, again, I went from being a stay-at-home mom, just helping answering the phones and doing some filing, getting to this point where I am co-owner and do most of our sales. It's been amazing. Definitely we work with Legacy Academy, who have also helped us grow our business tremendously. Also went through the LDX with Lacey for personal development, and I agree that is a transformation that really, really has helped us.
Judy's chief badass there, so you can let her know that.
What do you need to do to become chief badass? I feel like we're fighting for the floor a little bit with the microphone.
I know, that's why. Let's be loud.
I'm trying to be loud, but it's very hard for me. So my name's Lainey Sleppen. I work at Decks and Docks, which has been a huge pivot point for me over the last couple months. I've spent about 25 years of my career on the manufacturing side, and recently felt that it was a need on the supplier side to go out and really provide more than just building materials to contractors, to deck builders, by going ahead and really creating a value-added position from a growth strategic position. And so how did this all start, right? So about 25 years ago, I was selling contractor leads to contractors. And that fell short because Microsoft Word fell apart and sold off that part of the business. And then what happened after that is, if anybody remembers or is old enough to remember Monster.com, anybody remember Monster? Yeah, back in the day, there was an advertisement for a Trex sales representative. So I threw my name in the hat, and I think, honestly, the manager felt bad for me and my shaky hands, and he's like, I got to give this girl a chance. My hands shake because I have essential tremors, not because I'm nervous. And it's something that I deal with as I get older. But he felt bad for me, and he gave me an opportunity to really dive into the decking industry. And so what I did, I was 26 years old in a man's world, and I jumped in with both feet. I started digging footings, doing as much as I could possibly do to learn about the decking industry. And if guys were trying to put together railing, I was willing to get my hands dirty, put down decking boards, build displays, and do anything you asked me to do. And that's really how I created my value and gained the credibility in the market because I was willing to get my hands dirty. And from there, I tried the plumbing industry for a year, and it was a year down the drain. Ba-dum-bum. Exactly. I really didn't care for it. The plumbing industry was very different from construction, from deck builders. And my passion really always was really aligned with the deck builders. And so what happened is at that point, the distribution partner out in the market said, we want to start a deck specialist program. So I was the person that led that for the distributor, and I worked in distribution for a couple of years until returning back to manufacturing. And then I stayed with manufacturing for a number of years. And what this did is this created a person that's very knowledgeable about a lot of different products out in the market. So if somebody comes to me and wants a solution, I have all those different opportunities available because I know about a lot of different products. And so when I joined Decks and Dogs a couple months ago, it was a big decision for me because I decided to move from my comfort zone of on the manufacturing side to the supplier side. And it was a big change and sort of a challenge, right? Because I had rode that comfort zone for many years in my career. But what it affords me to do is go to the deck builder and say, hey, I can offer you the best solution for your business without being tied into one specific product. And that's been beautiful and an amazing opportunity. So, Lainey Slepin, your market disruptor.
Perfect. Everything that you've done, I feel, has really led up to right now, and she's really great at connecting people together and truly being a consult, for these guys. So thank you for being here.
Hi, good morning. My name is Carolyn Dibrell, and I am the owner and publisher of Service Industry News, the paper over there.
How convenient.
Very. We are a 37-year-old trade magazine. So it's really a newspaper, but it's online now, so we can't really call ourselves a paper. We are online and we have an app. We specialize in news and education for the pool service technician, a market that 37 years ago was completely unrepresented, not just underrepresented. Pool industry, as you all know, is segmented into different categories. From a service side of the need for education and information, we speak to and write about things that a service technician would want to know in order to run his business or her business, or would need to know in terms of information, things that happen in the industry that a service tech would want to know about, like fires that happen or chemical burns or drowning incidences, things of that nature. And then on the education side, we write articles and information about how to service an equipment pad, anything at all that's related to a pool and service. So any equipment, any chemical information that you would want to know how to test. Service guys have to do all of that, and then they have to run their business as well. So our publication is built around the service guy and what he would need to know. And my background is in education, so it's a nice fit. My background was in teaching economics. I taught economics at the community college level for 20 years. I took over the publication for a dear, dear family friend. And my sister is the writer. She is a PhD chemist. Her name is Marcel. That's us. So nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming. And this is a great industry, whether you're a male or a female.
Thank you so much. So I want to open up the first set of questions for the business owners today. What key decision or strategy has been essential for growing your business, and how did it impact your success?
For it. So one of my biggest keys to success was hiring my COO before I could afford him. So I knew that my strengths were in sales, marketing, and business development. And my weaknesses, not that I couldn't do it, but my weakness was on the production and operations side. I couldn't do everything I needed to do to become a 7-figure business in 12 months if I was selling and managing our sites. So I hired TJ. He is still with us, 18 months in. He's a retired Green Beret. He's absolutely freaking incredible and does all the things that I can't do, don't want to do, or I should not be doing. And that allowed me to focus on revenue generating activities of sales, marketing, and just overall strategy and growth. So that is genuinely my number one key to success, is figure out what your strengths are and then hire for the areas that you're not strong in. And even if you don't think you can afford that person, that's a limiting belief. The minute you hire that person, you can focus on those revenue generating activities that will enable you to hire more people just like that person that you didn't think you could afford.
Does anybody have any follow-up to that? Because I just feel like the microphone dropped. There's so many people that just want to do everything. And, you know, I think it's a lot to let go of the vine, as we call it. And so I just really hope that everyone in the audience takes that home with them if you are wearing too many hats. Yes.
Hi, Jeff Mudd with the Trades Podcast, and I have been in business. And you made a really big point, because a lot of business owners are afraid to do that kind of investment without the money to back it up. When you made that decision, was that a calculated, ran the numbers, or just a gut reaction, this is what I need to do?
That's a really great question. So don't forget the part of my story where I lost $200,000 on a failed business. My husband said to me back in 2020, I cannot have you start another business again or we'll get divorced. And at that time I had a 2.5-year-old, I was having another baby, and there went all my entrepreneurial spirit. Then when I was faced with starting this business again, before I told him I was starting this business, I went through 6 weeks of heavy calculations of every single iteration of what could possibly happen, knowing my track record of sales. So because I had already spent 3 years selling and I hit $9 million in those 3 years for roofing, siding, and decks, I had experience and I knew that I could rely on that data to support the future growth of my new business. So before I even brought this to his attention, I spent a lot of time and a lot of spreadsheet development seeing exactly where I could take my business if I had the right person next to me. So between data and belief in myself, that's what supported me telling my husband that I was doing this again, and we're still married. So what I can say is that if you have past success to lean on, use that as your starting point and be very conservative with your projections. And if you need any help developing those spreadsheets and those data calculations, I'm happy to help.
What she said. My gosh. Okay, so my own personal, I guess let's talk about the transition. So when I first came to Solid Ground, I was actually a consultant. And I was treated as such because I wanted to make sure that we both had a full understanding how the company operated. So the very first step that we took was to focus in on our product. What projects were we actually going to do? So most times when you have a single person business, you'll take whatever business you can get. You know, you make a sale, you'll do it because you need to make that dollar. However, when you're trying to grow, that doesn't work. That strategy tends to fall apart and you can get burnt out. And so we decided to really focus in on our product and what we wanted to sell to our market. So we performed a market analysis. We did a lot of data. We're very data driven. Pulled a lot of spreadsheets. I'm an Excel freak myself. And did our projections, and we figured out what worked, and then we focused in, so we could either decide to do a volume type company where we just mass produce decks, that's our focal point, or we can do higher end luxury projects. We'll not have as many projects in the year, but we are able to kind of, base our revenue stream off of that and grow from there. So we decided to lean towards the luxury one. Once we did that, everything kind of just fell into place. The idea of how to market, how to target our people, how to brand ourselves, everything just kind of fell into place once we made a decision what we were actually going to sell. It was hard. It was really hard because we were the first deck builders to bring in alternative framing to our market steel framing, and it was scary. But we did it because we knew that it would work. And we decided to say, we're just going to focus on this and we're going to push for it. So once we were able to make a decision about our product, we were able to just kind of let everything fall into place.
So my takeaway is focus. And I mean, I stress that a lot as a marketer, and you could back that up. I mean, you have to know who. So, I mean, everything that you did was down to your communication too, and how you're talking to people based off of what you're, going for and what your secret sauce is what I like to say.
Exactly. So, it really comes down to operations. So we developed an operations plan. So it's kind of like a life cycle of your product, beginning to end. Where it's going to, who is it going to hit? Where is it going to go? How is your operations going to operate based off of that product? So once you focus in on that operations plan, everything just kind of molds around it. And it's a lot easier than trying to grab and, figure it out along the way.
Throw spaghetti at the wall.
Thank you. That's it. I'm like, what is that cliche? Exactly. So focus is probably my biggest advice, is to make sure that you just drive in, and data. Like, being data decisive is so important. Although I'm a big advocate on intuition. So as a business owner, knowing your business, you're going to develop insight. You're going to develop intuition. You're going to start feeling, maybe we shouldn't do that. And that's when you really take the data and you prove those feelings. So trust your gut, focus, and data.
That's good. I think the data really helps you it justifies trusting your gut. And with the story so far, I mean, I think the common thread is also taking a risk, but it's a calculated risk backed by that emotional gut feeling too. And having a vision, period. Okay. Judy, we'd love to hear from you.
So, yeah, we used to, again, we never really had much of a plan or a vision. We had the vision, but we never really had much in the way of a plan, or never really tracked our numbers, things like that. Now that we have weekly meetings, leadership meetings, we track all of our numbers, we know our data, we know where we are on a day-to-day basis. We're a design build company. We're really figuring out who exactly is our customer. We're not just taking anybody that calls us. We vet them, we pick out, we cherry pick what we want. And we do the design build, we do high-class decks. Again, we do the alternate framing, where not that many builders by us do that. Only composite decking, things like that. So yeah, just set yourself apart, and it pays off.
Foundation. You guys, if you're going to build a deck, you need a strong foundation, right?
Yep.
So the other theme here is having strong operations, processes.
Yes.
And support.
Yeah, and then hiring the right people to have the right people there with you. So yeah, we have, again, I have both my girls working with us. We're women, trying to keep it women-centric. So my one daughter has been with us for 13 years. She's finance, HR. She does all that. Allie does marketing and is now taking over. We're doing more project coordinator. We have a project manager that is Bruce's right hand, and now I just hired a salesperson, and hopefully I can make him head of sales and hire in. I'd love to get another woman salesperson in there with us.
Nice. So I want to dig into your journey just a little bit more, because tell me, it seems like there was a pivotal point in the business. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
When we started working with Legacy Academy.
Yeah. And so how has your growth escalated since you got the foundation in check?
Oh, it's been tremendous. This year's a little bit slower, but last year our business more than doubled from the year before, just because we learned, again, how to track our numbers, how to market the right customers, everything like that.
Mm-hmm. And how has your life changed?
A lot. I've grown myself. Before I went through LDX, you would not have seen me up here. So I have grown myself, better relationship with my husband, better relationship with my girls. And now that we have hired on more of the right people in our company, Bruce and I have less stress because we have less hats.
So it's nice, right?
It's all very nice.
I bet you're more excited when you wake up.
Yes. And the best thing is a year ago in September, we opened our showroom and office for the first time. So we were able to get out of the house and out into an office. So after 50 years in business.
Yeah.
So.
You're big girl in big boy pants.
Yep.
Okay, great. I want to pass the mic off to some of the other industry leaders here, so the employees in the space. What trends or shifts have you seen in the industry, and how do you see women shaping its future?
For me, I see a lot of shifts within the entire outdoor industry. So people are looking at outdoor space as like a whole component of indoor-outdoor living. We see color shifts, color changes, stuff that kind of is like just temporary trends. But I think as an overall, it's people wanting that ease of indoor-outdoor. They're incorporating big accordion doors now. They're incorporating like patio space, their swim spas, pools. Like they want to be outdoors as much as they're indoors. So our projects have really grown in size because people are looking at the function of their home, not just as an interior space with a nice little patio or deck to sit on, but how can they truly incorporate entertaining space where they can be inside, outside, and everybody's feels very connected. So we're just seeing it like continue to expand. When people are starting renovations on their home, they're doing not just kitchens and bathrooms, but they're blowing out walls and they're incorporating big open doors and lots of windows and patios and roofs. And it's not just small little deck building anymore. It is how to truly transform the space where they're spending as much time outside as they are inside.
And then what about, how do you see women? I mean, you've worked all the positions.
Yeah.
So you've seen a lot in the industry. And I guess I'm curious from your perspective, like how have you seen things change? And then what do you really see, how do you see women shaping the future?
So, I mean, we are the future, I would say, in the construction industry. The more that women step through and really embrace that field and are out on the job sites, doing the sales calls, know what they're talking about when they're talking about the actual construction and how to build it, the more that we are just going to see the industry boom. I think that women have a huge advantage in the design eye and the design aspect of it. So as we're seeing things, like I said, start to grow from just outdoor living to indoor outdoor living and how people are incorporating that in the spaces, I think a lot of that reflects back to more women being in the industry because we are, the central of our homes a lot of times. We're the ones that are doing the entertaining, the ones that are doing the cooking. And I think them being in the industry and knowing how the space is functioning and being able to see that for others and help them visualize the space. Like we are, like Judy mentioned before, they're designed to build, we are designed to build too. So having not just guys that are like, hey, yeah, I want to grill, I want a deck to grill on out there. It's like women who are saying, hey, I want this space to be able to entertain. Like my kids are going to be playing out here, and having someone as a woman who's either a PM or in sales that can kind of see that vision and help them bring it together and help them see like what's possible, I think is huge. So I've seen a lot more women that are not just in the finances, not just answering the phone anymore, but like they want to be the designers, they want to be the architects, they want to be the PMs out there, gaining the respect for the trades and the crews that are out there. When I was a project manager, I loved myself and my trades. You can't do your job without them. So if you can earn their respect and that you can appreciate them and then them in turn appreciate you, it's such a better environment to create that synergy. So as soon as that they understand that you know what you're talking about, you're not going anywhere and you don't have to get your feelings hurt, then it becomes like a whole different topic. You know, they respect you a lot more.
I have a question. Who do you primarily sell to? Meaning, is it the woman, or, you know, is it the husband, or?
It's whoever's the decision maker, and
Or pulling the strings?
And a lot of times, I will say that if I'm meeting with a husband, I will ask him, does she have any opinion about the outdoor space? And if he's like, no, not at all. Okay, cool. Then we're good to talk. But if he's like, yeah, well, maybe she might want to pick the colors. Well, then I need to talk to both of you. I need both of you here, because you don't ever want to get in the middle of a battle of like, well, this is what I want to see. Well, that's what I want to see. So most of the times I ask homeowners to have both decision makers at a present appointment. If I run an appointment and it's just one of them out there, the next appointment I set up, I definitely ask for both of them to be there. And I would say it's a pretty even kill. Like a lot of times I will have women who are like, yeah, you know, I don't really care, it's his space. And the more we talk about it, they do. Like, you know, they care about the home. And as far as like, you know, with our clientele, it's a wide age range. We have like older couples that are, you know, established and been in the home and wanting to renovate and, you know, transform the space for grandkids and stuff. And then we have like a whole new younger generation that is starting to own their homes and having the money to want to change and do stuff. So it's really cool to see the dynamics that are shifting from like a very old traditional, there's a lot of people that feel like, you know, the old money is who are spending all of the money, and it's not really true anymore. The younger generation wants to have great outdoor space as well. So we're seeing it old and young, and everybody wants to be in on it.
Thank you. Lainey, I'm really interested to hear from you.
What would you like to hear from me?
All right, so the question is, what trends or shifts have you seen in the industry, and how do you see women shaping its future?
Well, I'm going to take the second part of that question first. So, remember I said I started 25 years ago in the business, and there might have been Judy and myself sitting up here. And this is a testament to where the business is today, that you have 6 very powerful women in the industry, plenty of women in the audience, and that is totally a shift than what I've seen 25 years ago. So I'm going to start with that. So kudos to us. I continue to reach out, try to mentor other women to come into the business, to bring them up, because at some point, guess what? Lainey retires, right? And then who comes after, right? So at this point in my career, I'm looking at my succession plan, right? Like, who's going to backfill these powerful women positions once I retire, right? So I'm always looking to mentor people, and some are open and some are not open. I've asked the question quite a bit out there, and some people take my hand and some people slap my hand, and that's okay. That's the reality of the world we live in today. But if anybody's interested in being mentored by, I'm sure any of the women up here, I'm sure we'd be happy to extend ourselves. So that's the second part of the question. The first part is about trends and what we're seeing out in the market. And really what I'm seeing is a big divide between the guys that are selling from job to job and the ones that are creating outdoor living spaces. And a huge, did I say huge, gap in between, right? And as much as I want to try to help the guys that just sell from job to job, I found that many of them are closed off and not open to understanding the opportunities that exist in the outdoor living space. Like, don't go just out there and sell the deck, sell the experience, take it to an emotional level, right? It's just kind of what Lacey was talking about on the sales side, right? And so I try to have these conversations, and some people take it with a grain of salt, and some people say, yeah, I'm really interested in taking my business to the next level. But again, I'm seeing a huge gap in that space in the business where the guys are just, they're still drawing on paper napkins and they're going from one to the next. Believe it or not, there are contractors that are still making paper plans and they're going from one job to the next, that their profitability is God knows what. And then you have the upper end contractors that are creating that design opportunity in the outdoor living space. And again, I'm just trying to understand how can we help with the people that are in between. And so that's kind of the trends that I'm seeing right now, from my perspective.
Lainey's very passionate, you know, and I think it's amazing that, I think it's amazing that you're extending, you know, some mentorship. So definitely take advantage of it, guys.
So can I
Gals.
do a shout out to my little mentoree that's out in the audience?
Yes.
Melissa DeSola. So Melissa, would you like to let them know what happened in this pivot of my career?
Hold on.
Come on, Melissa, you got this. Peanut butter and jelly, baby.
What we say, Thelma and Louise without the cliff.
Yes.
That's always the thing. So, Lainey, I've been in construction pretty much every angle. I went from steam fitters to plumbing for a long time. I know it was your enemy for a year, but it was my friend for 10. So then I did exterior building products, which is how I know Amanda. And Lainey wonderfully brought me in and said, do you want to, you know, see what it's like being on the outside? And her knowing the vendor part and me knowing the customer part per se, we make a very good team. We really do. And her experience, let me tell you, if she's offering it, take it. Take it. Her name, you can walk through any booth here and they know her. She's known more than helmets is for me. She is absolutely amazing, and this experience is something that I will never forget and will treasure. This is definitely something where I want to be. So thank you very much for bringing me under your wing, my wonderful peanut butter.
And jelly.
You killed it. It's good. All right, Carrie. So Carrie brings a different perspective to the panel. And yeah, we're kind of interested to see what you're seeing in trends.
Well, I sort of should answer the other question and also the trend question. Because I own a business. I am the publisher of Service Industry News, but I also the owner of it. And I was thinking, should I give the romantic answer or the real one? And maybe it's a little of both. When I took over, I was filling in the shoes of somebody that was in the industry for 30 years, a man. And I'm not really in the pool industry so much as I am in the publishing industry. And publishing right now is female dominated. But back then it was male dominated, and having to fill the shoes of somebody that was rather well known and respected was pretty scary. That's the real answer. Also, the way I took over was just sort of on a drive. You know, most of us are doing things that we possibly didn't plan to do. We just fell into it. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys started off saying, I want to work in the pool industry, but I
didn't think I grew up thinking I was going to do marketing for deck builders.
Yeah, I was teaching at a community college, and I didn't have any notion of doing this. I knew that my good friends were running a business and that it was successful, but it wasn't my passion necessarily. And so the real answer is it was very, very hard. Very hard. And I just decided that I was going to do it anyway. And I was going to learn what I needed to learn and figure out what I could do better. And that part, that's the second part. So a lot of what you ladies shared about having to find partners and having to find people that you could ask questions of and make a plan. I didn't have a plan. I was just carrying forward the already existing successful paper. My plan was to not bankrupt the company. That was my plan. And so how do I do that? Well, I delegated. Delegated is a lot of what you were talking about. In terms of finding people that can be on your team, that can do the job that you're You could find a way to do it, but you're not going to be very good at it. You're not going to be good at it. So find that thing that you're good at and hone it. For the other stuff, delegate. There's no shame in that. That's actually the intelligent choice. And then as to trends in our industry, the service industry, that's the industry that we write for, there are more women in service, a lot more women than there used to be. The women in our service side used to be on the phone. They used to do the booking. And now they are servicing pools. But there's still, it's 90% male. And it probably will remain that way. You know, and there's no shame in that either. It's a fine industry to be a man in, too.
All right. Any questions so far? Anybody have a similar story? Did everybody have a plan to be where they are today when you were 10 years old? Yeah.
Judy, you got something to say? All right.
I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan. I've been a hairdresser by trade for 50 years. And 10 years ago, I got involved in the decking, turned it around, and I'm so passionate now. At my age, I wish I would have done this 25 years ago and had the power of being a woman in a man's industry. I love selling. I love getting out there. I love getting my hands dirty. And I didn't plan on doing this neither. It just fell. I didn't even know what a computer was. You know, I finished high school, went to hairdressing school, had a tremendous business, owned my own company, got out of it and got into decking. And I love it. So you can start at any age, going on 78 here, okay? And I wish I was 25 years younger, just sitting up there like you ladies, because I am a talker. And I would love to do it. And I love Lonnie. We've gotten so involved with her. She's my girl. She gets my boss everything he needs, and she's there for him. She's great.
See you up there next year. Allison, you want to share anything? No, you don't have to. Okay. All right. So I want for everyone on the panel, just kind of Tara, what advice would you give to young women considering a career in this industry?
I think the common theme that we're hearing is surround yourself by like-minded people who want to be successful. Whether they're male or female, here you're going to find people who are so supportive. I feel like our relationship within this industry only got better because we attended the expos, because we are NADRA members, because we started communicating more outside of our territory. There are so many people out here that want you to succeed. It's great. Build those relationships. So that's my advice.
Just keep a good head on your shoulders of whatever you want to do. Like, put your mind to it and know that you can freaking do it. Don't let anybody tell you different. Whenever you take on a new challenge, whenever you're kind of considering something like, maybe I could do that. I think I might could. Like, if you decide you want to do it, go for it and go all the way. And just don't give up until you have reached that goal. Surrounding yourself with the right mentors, the right community is huge. Don't try to figure it all out on yourself. Like, learn from the giants before you, like the people that already made a name on the industry, that already know the answers to stuff. Like our rep is in the audience, and she is my go-to. I don't know how many times I have called her. But use the people around you and just exactly like they said, delegate the things that you hate. I am like notorious for delegate and elevate. And then my other famous saying is FITFO. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's figure it out. So that's kind of how I've operated my whole life. I've had tons of different career paths and tons of different opportunities that came before me. And if you really want something, you just figure it out. And you figure out how to make it happen and get the people around you to surround you, support you, to help accelerate you, go a lot further together than you go alone. So it's an incredible industry with so many opportunities. There is so many different avenues. I loved what I did on like the project coordinator, answering the phone, helping with colors and stuff like that when I first started in the industry. And then what I did with PM, I love the before, during, after, seeing what was there and then what the possibility of it after was huge. And now on the sales side, like just getting people to help form their dream. They have an outdoor space, they don't know what to do with it, but like helping it pull together in a way where that's where they're going to spend majority of their times. They're going to make memories out there for holidays and family events and birthday parties and all kinds of stuff. It is just so empowering and so impactful. And at every different point of that, I found something new to love. And I think that there is so many avenues within this industry, whether it be outdoor living, publications, marketing, whatever the space, CRMs, that we can really make a difference by just being the women behind it.
So I'm going to give you personal and professional advice. The personal advice is that the most successful people in the world are those who are filled with the biggest amounts of grit and tenacity. So it's the people who constantly pick themselves up, failure after failure after failure, and don't let that bring them down. So if you're faced with failure and you don't feel that you're gritty enough or tenacious enough, look for the resources about how to build those skill sets within you. Because I think that you can definitely learn how to be gritful and tenacious. So that's on the personal side. On the professional side, you need to hyper consume information. So my career in construction started in roofing sales, and I knew nothing about roofing. I was pretty dangerous with a hammer and a level and some power tools at my own house, but trying to sell those things to somebody else was definitely new for me. So find your passion within the industry, whether it's on the roofing side for me, then deck building, hyper consume the information with the people who are currently publishing their content. So whether it's podcasts or videos that you can just put on like on your drive. So when I was going to sales appointments as a salesperson, every single drive I would be listening to podcasts or any sort of video content. And that is how I became a force to be reckoned with. And I always said, if you cornered me and you tried to test my product knowledge, I would probably outperform you when it came to certain things. So yes, being a woman can be intimidating if you don't know your product knowledge, but you can very easily counteract that by the content that's out there.
So I just have to say, don't let anybody hold you back. If you want it, go for it. Don't be afraid to be a woman in what was technically a man's world. Networking, being with Nadra for many years, I feel like the men have all accepted me as just another one of them. So I feel that there's, even going on sales calls or working with our subs, I just feel very welcomed and accepted. And so don't have that fear. Don't let it hold you back. I never expected to be here. And I just, again, started with answering the phones and filing, and then just started helping with sales until now I am where I am. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I love it. And again, I just don't be intimidated. Don't feel held back. Just go for it.
I mean, what really can I add after all these fabulous answers? I tend to agree, right, that alignment with others that are in the industry is super important. I was told once by a boss, successful people want to surround themselves with successful people. And I took that to heart a very long time ago. And what I can tell you is have a vision for yourself, right? Whether that's a 1-year vision, a 5-year vision, a 10-year vision. That's been super important for me as I get closer to the retirement age. I mean, I know I look like I'm 20, but it has become more prevalent. I'm looking at my retirement savings and things like that, and I'm thinking, you know, what are the last 15 years of Lainey's life going to look like in the decking industry? And that's why I really pivoted into this position. But it was a manifestation of really what I wanted to create for myself. And that is true, right? If you have a vision, you can manifest it if you believe that that's where you want to go. And that would be my best suggestion to anybody in the audience.
What do you think I'm going to feel now? I'm the last one. I know. No pressure. Okay, so I would say this to anybody, male or female. Learn and be humble. Learn and be humble. And from that, get into some relationships that generate some power. So surround yourself with powerful people, but also surround yourself with people that are willing to help you and build those relationships. I think that they are going to be around anyway. The people that you run into years later, they're still going to be around. We want to have positive relationships with all of those people. So learn, build relationships, but before all of those two things, find what you're good at, because you're going to have to do it a lot. And why would you want to spend your life, this is your life, doing something that you don't want to do? So find something that you're good at, that you want to do, and the rest sort of falls into place. And it unexpectedly falls into place, because as planned as you might, life is what happens when you're making other plans.
Good. And I just want to leave with something too. I mean, I started in this space 3 years ago, and I showed up here in Dallas, and no one knew me. I felt like I was a freshman going to a new high school. But to back up what a couple of ladies said here, I mean, this is such an incredible industry. Everybody has always made me feel extremely welcome. And so just to kind of back up what, you know, some of the ladies said, you know, people want to help, people want to support one another, you know, and especially in this space, they want to see you succeed. And so, you know, reach out to, I'm sure any of these ladies would be available for, you know, a chat, and take advantage of their brilliance and their journeys. So anyway, want to thank the ladies and open it up for any questions. If anybody wants to expand on, you know, any successful strategies that these ladies have experienced or their journeys. Any questions? Don't be scared. Okay. Well, let's give the ladies a round of applause here. Thank you, guys. All right. How's your energy after that?
I'm feeling fired up.
We got some good feedback. I'm excited to do it again.
I want to share this stage with you any day.
Oh, thank you. I think we should have like 10 ladies up here next time.
That might be a lot.
Yeah.
6 is good.
So what was your biggest takeaway?
That I'm not alone, and that I think ultimately everyone else was feeling the same way. So many of us have our pivot stories where we fell into the construction industry, and it was nice hearing other people share their stories, because sometimes I feel like I came into this industry haphazardly and I sort of had to claw my way up. But that was a similar story that everyone else was sharing as well.
Yeah. I think one thing we didn't really cover though is just how important it is to, I think we said it just indirectly, how important it is to really just have your confidence. And I'm sure you really did that by all of the education that you know, all the videos that you watched and everything in order to be able to stand up and say, no, I know my shit, right?
Well, if you need to sell something, you need to know what you're talking about, right? So when I was moving into a sales role, if I didn't feel confident about what I was meeting homeowners to discuss, I wasn't going to sell.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a specific point in my career, probably 4 or 5 months in, where I just felt the confidence wash over me, and I didn't have that nervousness anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really where my sales my sales record started speaking for itself. And people were coming to me trying to learn what I was doing. And I felt like I just learned from other people what they were doing. And now other people were coming to me to learn from me, which is really cool.
I think the saying is you really only need to know like 10% more of who you're educating.
Yeah, it's true. I say that to my new salespeople all the time. You just need to know enough to be dangerous right now, and then you're just going to naturally grow into that.
Well, I tell you what, the session opened up, you were one of the first speakers, and I was so impressed with what you said. I was like, put on the brakes. Okay, we've got to see what the audience has to say about this, because literally I think we could have just stopped the whole session and it would have been an amazing takeaway for everyone.
Thank you.
So just really being smart with, using your data and your gut instinct and making projections and taking a risk too. Everybody up there took some sort of risk, and for you, bringing on that operations manager and more so knowing what your strengths are and saying it's okay, I don't have to do everything. As a matter of fact, I'll be better and will be better if I find somebody that can own that so that I can be over here owning what I'm really good at. I just really thought that was the most powerful thing for me in the session this year.
I'm glad that gentleman asked that follow-up question after I was speaking, because I feel like it really prompted the trajectory of the conversation. Because then Tara was sitting on the end, she started talking about that too, and just reinforcing that yes, you can sort of have these gut instincts that are driven by experience, but you need to also have the data to back it up.
Yeah, I feel like I can't stand on a decision for the long term unless I do have some sort of a data. Because you might be feeling good one day and everything seems like it's good, and then the next day you're like, wait a second, should I? But if you have the data, you're like, no, look forward, look forward and keep going. So
one of the things that we didn't talk about on the panel was the impact of the election cycle and also the economic conditions that we're experiencing right now. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I have never owned a company during an election cycle or during a down economy. So for me, this is completely new territory, because we were growing. We were on a growth trajectory until the beginning of October. And it's like, man, I'm not feeling any of what other people are feeling right now. Everyone's saying the market's drying up. I'm not feeling this. The minute October 1st hit, it's like the screeching halt started. And I had to remember that I had learned that every 4 years during an election cycle, other builders have felt this. So while I'm feeling unsure and maybe I'm lacking a little confidence right now because I saw our sales numbers just drop off, I went to my community of owners and I said, is this normal? And they're all reassuring me that yes, this is completely normal. Once the new administration comes in, whether it was one side or the other, coming January, things are going to pick up again. So I just had to really rely on the fact that data speaks louder than feelings speak.
And community was a big subject too. So really having that's ammunition, and I love it. I'm in a community for my business for marketing, and I love that I don't have to bang my head on the table.
Oh, I know.
If I have any question or if I'm going through anything, I can ask the community, and somebody's been through it. And most of the time, there's like 10 people that speak up, and it's no different here. So leverage your community. Okay, where is your energy level after that?
I mean, it's pretty incredible. That was a pretty impactful, powerful panel of women up there that really knew what the hell they were talking about. I was impressed.
And lots of ladies in the audience too, right?
Tons of ladies in the audience, guys in the audience. I think it's great to have like the good combo of both to really hear like what it's like to be a lady in the industry for the men and the women.
Did you notice that there were a lot of men like in the back? It was like they wanted all the women to be in the front, and they were just there supporting. It was pretty cool.
Yep, it definitely was. It was really neat.
So what was your biggest takeaway?
So my biggest takeaway from it was, like, as we all were up there and talking, I noticed like a common thread, and it's just that we're not scared to start over. So all of us had like a grit and determination, and we really didn't know what we were moving into, but we know we wanted to start something new, and it landed us into the construction industry, and we just figured it out. And we had a lifelong learning mindset that we were going to do whatever it took to figure it out, and then be powerful within that space, and just being able to take those risks and know that there's going to be great reward on the other side of it. It just continually resonated throughout all the women on the panel, that when they moved into this space, it was new for them, it was kind of like a scary thought, and now they're owning it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I know. So many amazing insights. It's hard just to pull one down.
Yeah, exactly.
But also knowledge too. Like everybody, like doing what it takes is, about really educating yourself, and that way nobody, can think twice about, your position and what you're doing.
Yeah, that commitment to being a lifelong learner, to really like always expand on your knowledge. You can never have enough information on all kinds of topics, and I think that it was evident up there that all the women had a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and a wide variety of products.
Yeah, lots of experience too.
Yeah.
Perspectives from people.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being part of it.
Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait till next year.
Yeah. Okay.